Rapid Solicitors, sponsors of the Elite Ice Hockey League on Sky Sports. Accident compensation and medical negligence claims.
We're back at the Skydome Arena, home to one of the Elite Ice Hockey League's most successful clubs, the Coventry Blaze. Now, it's been 6 weeks since we last visited the Blaze, and in that time, their opponents tonight, the Braehead clan, have moved closer and closer. Now, it's an important time for both clubs as a new pecking order is established in UK ice hockey. Hello and welcome to the Rapid Solicitors Elite Ice Hockey League highlight show here on Sky Sports. We have another busy show for you this week with all the action from around the league. The fans have turned out in force here in Coventry as we enter the business end of the season. But for the fans here, it isn't about the trophies anymore, it's about finishing fourth rather than sixth. And of course we'll be focusing on both the race for the title and the battle for the final playoff spot. But it's the fight for the fourth spot we focus on to start with. And the Blaze and the Clan met twice this weekend, both looking for a really big 4-point weekend to move even closer to the Cardiff Devils, who currently occupy that fourth spot. Here's Chris Ellis for the first game.
Two sides at different ends of the form table going into this one. Braehead had 4 straight wins and the Blaze 2 straight losses. Galbraith with the first goal of the night after the pass from Kristanovic. Still first period action, and once more a giveaway by Coventry, something they've done a lot this season. Shot from Mitchell, and Galbraith tips in his 27th goal of the season for a 2-0 first period lead. But again, so often this season, Shea Guthrie turns out to be Coventry's saviour, and he started their fight back, battling on the right boards and behind the net, out in front for a wraparound. That was 2-1. Once more, the Blaze came forward with Guthrie. This time he was behind the net, and then it comes out in front for Dustin Wood. Deflection. Wood scores the second of the night for the Blaze. We're suddenly tied at 2-2 in the second session. But then the goal of the night for me, Bannister pulls the netminder right out of position, and then a wraparound, and with bodies flying everywhere, Bannister scores a crucial goal to make it 3-2 and certainly put Braehead in control. But there was time for more action and more time out of his net for Hirsch. Way out of position, and the Clan take full advantage. Hayward, calm as you like, an 8th goal of the season in the second session with 3 minutes to go in that period. Braehead looking to wrap things up in the final session, and at the other end the Coventry Blaze trying to salvage something from the game. Into the offensive zone they come, and Farmer notches a 22nd of the year with 5 seconds to go. It was too little too late though, and Braehead Clan take the points. Braehead 4, Coventry 3.
So, first blood there to the Braehead clan. You'll never guess who I've managed to track down at an ice hockey game too. It is, of course, Dave Sims. Dave, let's talk a bit about this pecking order. Is it the case of maybe one club that's going up and one club that's on the decline?
I think as we stand here on a Sunday evening, Anna, it's exactly that right now. The Coventry Blaze, they're treading water at best. They're a club in a little bit of trouble, and they're struggling, if you like, to keep their head above the water. Now, the Braehead clan, with that victory on Saturday night, they've got one hand on their shoulder, and a victory tonight, they're going to end up in 5th place, chasing the Cardiff Devils for 4th.
Well, that all-important 4th spot that the Cardiff Devils do have, do you reckon they're going to retain that?
I do. I'm a fan of the Cardiff Devils and Jared Adams, and I think they will. I think they've got enough points on the board already, and I just don't see either Coventry or Braehead winning significantly more games than Cardiff from now until the end of March. I think 4th is the place for the Cardiff Devils. That, of course, would set up a playoff series against the Braehead clan. Very interesting, that. But more interestingly, that if the Coventry Blaze do finish in 6th place, that sets up a playoff series against the Nottingham Panthers. And even though Coventry had success against Nottingham, it was much earlier in the season. In recent months, Coventry have really struggled against the Panthers. 6th place for Coventry is lose-lose.
Now, we have talked a lot throughout this series about the Coventry Blaze and the club off the ice. What is the state of play currently?
Well, I think it's not even week to week with Coventry. I think it's day to day with the Coventry Blaze. They've got a new general manager, Sally Myers, who we all know. She's been with the club for a number of years, and I think she'll add a softer face to the Coventry Blaze, not that hard business-like face that perhaps they've had. But Sally and Andy Buxton, Mike Carney, Paul Thompson have all got a really tough job. On the ice, it's a fairly simple job rebuilding. You rebuild round Guthrie, round Wood, round Farmer. Everybody else, for me, can go. But off the ice is where the real trick is, because off the ice, they've got to appease fans, appease sponsors, but the City of Coventry, the Skydome Arena, Planet Ice, and most importantly, the Elite Ice Hockey League, they need a strong Coventry Blaze.
Well, hopefully in a few minutes' time, I'll be talking to some of the fans about their club. But before that, Dave managed to catch up with the Braehead Clan player coach, Drew Bannister.
Drew, you don't need me to tell you, a win tonight, though, takes you into 5th place.
Yeah, most certainly. It's tonight's a big game for us. The weekend's been a big game. We had a good game last night and got 2 points, and bus ride down here, and we're coming down to hopefully win a game and get a game out of here.
I've just been speaking with your assistant, Frank Morris, and saying, hey, could go 5th. He's saying, we've got our eyes set on 4th. Is that what the goal is for the Clan right now?
Most certainly is to finish in the top 5. I think it's realistic for us that we can, and something we've spoken about since the beginning of the year is trying to get into that top 5. And as close as it is, anything can happen right now. And certainly we're pushing to get over these guys in Coventry and then move and try and catch up with Cardiff.
Talk to us about the trade that you did. There's no trades in this league, but you pulled one off, and certainly Braehead got the benefit, didn't they? Lee Mitchell coming in, something you needed, British talent.
Well, I mean, I think last time we spoke about the depth, especially on our team and with our British teams. For Kyle, he wasn't going to be in my lineup every night, and for him, it was a good thing for him. He gets to go to Dundee and play where he's going to play every night and contribute to that team, and he was certainly a good player for us for the last 2 years, and he's done a lot for this organization on and off the ice. With Lee, I knew what I was getting because I played with him last year in Hull. He's certainly a great British player. We're excited to have him, and the last 4 games he's played with us, he's been fantastic. So he's something that we looked at. We felt he would make our team better immediately because he steps right into our lineup and also in the future.
Okay, what are you expecting tonight? Because this Coventry Blaze side are Jekyll and Hyde right now.
They're certainly, they're just a very good hockey team, I think, all around. They play very well in their rink. We haven't really given them a very good game here yet, so certainly tonight we're going to come out and hopefully we can be able to give them a better game. They've certainly dominated us in this rink so far.
Is the key that opening 5 or 10 minutes, because the Blaze historically have come out hard, haven't they?
Certainly are. They come very hard. Hopefully there's a little bit of a hangover, but we're ready for it. I mean, I think we're a better team. We have been for the last few weeks. We're building and getting better as we go, but we'll be ready right from the start here tonight.
So a positive outlook there from the Clan. To be honest, I don't think any team will fancy taking them on the playoffs, no matter where they finish. Time now though for some more action from around the Rapids Listers Elite Ice Hockey League. Here's Chris Ellis.
An important game for various reasons. Belfast looking to increase their lead at the top, and the Stingrays looking to inch closer to a playoff place. That strike from Robert Dowd, his 100th Elite League goal. In the first session, there was also a goal for the Stingrays. Neat move in front of the net by McKinney for his 4th goal of the season. In the second, Jeff Mason scored on one of 19 shots from the Giants. And at the other end, the Stingrays had just 1 shot. So to the 3rd session and a 2nd goal of the night for Mason. He was left alone in the left circle. So that was 3-1 on the power play. And the Stingrays had a mountain to climb in the 3rd session. Belfast's transition was good. They've been very excellent at home this season. And that one there falling nicely for Hoffman to score his 2nd goal since returning to the club. Hutchinson and Pele with the assist. Still just over 4.5 minutes to go. It's 4-1 to the Belfast Giants. Then a win on the face-off by Dennisit, and easy as you like it. Hoffman in front of the net, his big presence, scoring the 5th goal of the night to make it 5-1, and there still is 2.5 minutes to go. Dennisit again once more with the face-off win, and then the puck comes right-hand side to Mason in off the netminder for his first career hat-trick. Belfast take their tally to 16 goals in 3 home games against the Stingrays. Final score, Belfast 6, Hull 1. Belfast Giants at home for a 2nd night in a row, looking for their 8th win in succession and playing in specially commissioned pink shirts in aid of breast cancer research. They went ahead short-handed, 2-on-1 break, and the final finish by John Pele, a 19th goal of the season for the former Cardiff man. There was still time for more goals in the session. First of all, the hero of the NIC last weekend, Nick Kuiper. Here he scores his 3rd goal of the season. And with 45 seconds to go in the session, this was a neat finish. Robert Dowd in front of the net, top shelf, as top as you can get it almost, for a 3-0 first period lead. There was 1 goal in the second session. Clark coming forward, the save is made by Zemlak, the rebound by Peacock, an 18th goal of the year to make it 4-0. Now the 3rd session, and first of all, Clark gets a goal 54 seconds in, and the home side beginning to run away with things. The next goal brought about a change in the Fife net, unusually a poor night for Gareth Zemlak. 6 goals conceded from 28 shots. Blair Daly taking over his place. Still though, the action went Belfast's way. Hoffman there with his 4th of the season, and that goal brought about a change in the home side's net. Andrew Dixon replacing Stephen Murphy, and with 9 seconds to go, he faced a penalty shot. Steve Gunn here with an almost Jade Galbraith-esque move. In a moment, Todd Dutium, but first of all, Doug Christensen.
We play them 3 times, and so therefore, unless they lose a number of games, that those 3 games don't matter, everything's going to be to play for. But again, anytime they lose, it gives us a little bit of help and a little bit of an advantage. But again, they've got a lot of games to play. They've got to win a lot of games. They've got tough games, and they've got some pressure to win those games in hand that they have.
How do you see the playoff run? Do you think you can get that last rung?
Yeah, well, we identified this week here as probably one of our most difficult of the season. We got Sheffield coming up. We got a couple Nottingham games, so we just went down to Cardiff for a tough one. Did we expect big results out of there? No. We could have got a result out of Cardiff, absolutely, and that would have helped us. But we're definitely behind the 8 ball. I think Dundee did us a bit of a favor by winning tonight in Edinburgh, which keeps that points threshold not so far away from us. But look, I mean, reality sets in. We're going to be asking people to do us favors, and we're going to have to win our must-win games, which we've identified. So it's a big ask for us, but guys haven't given up yet, and we're going to go right to the end of the season.
Edinburgh went into this one with 1 win in their last 17. Such a crucial game in the race for the playoffs. Edinburgh with the advantage at the moment, and they scored the first goal. Period coming to a close, 16:43. Power play goal for Mackenzie. But a scrappy goal got Dundee back into the game. Conkle won't care how it went in. 24 seconds to go in the session. We're tied at 1-1. Well, the celebrations were to get better for the Dundee Stars. Conkle had scored his 17th of the year to tie it at 1-1. And here, Edinburgh in their own zone, but they get caught out. McLean here with the assist, takes a wicked bobble, and Conkle scores again, an 18th of the year at 23:09. Dundee leading by 2-1. But Edinburgh coming forward with their player coach Richard Hartman. That is a glorious pass. And Yarrolin, 39th of the year, he stays as the leading scorer. So it's 2-2 in period 2. But then things started to go wrong for the Cavs, and all right for the Stars. First of all, right in front of the net, McLean. 12:05 gone in the second session. Bruce and Turner with the assist. Dundee ahead then, 3-2. And things were to get better when Kalanis with a lovely finish. His 7th goal since joining the club. That was 4-2. Edinburgh really needed to get back into the game and to find a way through. That one creeping over the line. That was Dolan. 50 seconds into the 3rd session, so 5-2. And the Caps really needed to get the next goal if they were going to get back into the game and stop Dundee from closing the gap. Mackenzie's neat finish, his 13th of the year at 43:22, saw it become a 2-goal game. The Dundee travelling support were delighted, and in particular, Dolan getting his 15th goal of the year. Here in front of the net, he scored. Kalanis and Turner with the assist, so Dundee closed the gap on Edinburgh to 3 points. The Caps 3, Stars 6.
Dave, that big green machine that is the Belfast Giants just keeps on going. They are unstoppable.
8 consecutive victories now for the Belfast Giants. And Anna, look at some of the teams they're beating. They double over the Nottingham Panthers. They beat out the Sheffield Steelers. And then Perhaps this weekend we expected them to roll over the Five Flyers and the Hull Stingrays, but they did it so convincingly.
They're just so solid as a team, aren't they?
Absolutely right. Now, if you look at Sheffield, they just about managed to get past a Dundee, and Nottingham struggled to get past a team. But, the Belfast Giants, they're not beating teams. They've just got that first gear, second gear, third gear, and they're just rolling over.
And of course, we have to mention Dundee beating Edinburgh.
Hey, we said last week, didn't we? That was probably the game of the weekend. One to watch it was. Conkle and Dolan with doubles. Dundee now closed the gap to just 3 points. The Dundee Stars are looking to go to the playoffs.
Okay, well, time now to take a break, but make sure you stay with us as we've got plenty more action coming your way from around the Rapid Solicitors Elite Ice Hockey League.
Sponsors of the Elite Ice Hockey League on Sky Sports. Sponsors of the Elite Ice Hockey League on Sky Sports.
Hello and welcome back to the Rapid Solicitors Elite Ice Hockey League highlight show here on Sky Sports. This week we're in Coventry at the Sky Dome Arena. Now last week we were in Sheffield for a Valentine's Day game between the Sheffield Steelers and their bitter rivals, the Nottingham Panthers. Well, on Saturday they met again with Nottingham looking for revenge. Here's Chris Ellis.
Another sellout crowd for Nottingham against Sheffield at the National Ice Centre for the fourth meeting this season on Panthers ice. We had a fiery start. Corey Nielsen against Neil Clark, the two of them going after just 3 minutes and 5 seconds. Both of them with points to prove, I guess. Clark back in the lineup wanting to make an impression. Corey Nielsen, of course, will be hurting from last Tuesday's defeat in Sheffield when they went down by 4-2. And it was Sheffield who took the lead in the first session, only their second goal at the NIC this season. The dump on net, it was caught under the skates of Craig Kowalski, and then Jonathan Phillips' shot going in off the skates of Brock Wilson. So 1-0 Steelers after 4 minutes and 52 seconds on the power play. We saw more battles going on, and this time Stevie Lee jumping in onto Fulgham, and Lee and Fulgham this time they go toe-to-toe. Lee getting the better of that one. Lee more of a seasoned fighter than Fulgham, you'd say. So the pair of then go toe-to-toe for the second fight of the night. So no goals for Nottingham at this stage, but that was about to change. Look at this, 3-on-2 break. Nottingham nearly make the mess of it. Clark, Myers and Gordon, but eventually they get it. A goal for them, delayed penalty, and Clark scores 1-1, 32nd of the year, and we're level. Nottingham grew in confidence as the game went on, and the man who won the league championship with the Steelers scores in the left circle. Great goal, 2-1 Nottingham then. 4 minutes to go in the session. They've turned the game around. This one's all about keeping it in the family. Face-off win there from Fox, and Brock Wilson with the shot. His 5th goal of the season. 1 minute 17 after Panthers' second. So to the second session, and the big dump on net pays dividends for Nottingham. Sheffield's defence was sleepy. First of all, it's Fox, then it's Benedict, and then right in front of the net, the poacher, David Alexandre Beauregard. 33 for the year for him, just past the halfway point. And still time for more action to go Nottingham's way. 28 seconds left in the period. Clark robs the puck and goes in on the netminder to score his second of the night. Final score, Nottingham 5, Sheffield 1.
Dave, you were at that game. A huge blow for the Sheffield Steelers there.
Yeah, huge defeat for our Infinity side. A great win for the Nottingham Panthers. They were simply the better team. Again, and how many times have we said that, Anna, about the Steelers and the Panthers this year? My view is that the Sheffield Steelers aren't as good as the Belfast Giants or the Nottingham Panthers. They're not as gifted, they're not as talented. Therefore, to beat them and to challenge for a title, it's about emotion, it's about energy, it's about systems, a great goaltender. And right now, the Sheffield Steelers seem drained. They seem out of energy, out of emotion, and the writing was on the wall when they lost that game only a couple of days earlier to the Dundee Stars. It took them almost 59 minutes to be able to get that game winner that night.
Is that what it is, though? Is it down to a scheduling issue? Are they just tired legs needing a rest?
Well, I'm sure Ryan Finnerty won't want to use scheduling as an excuse. That was their 5th game in 8 nights. That's a tough ask of anybody. But with the Continental Cup commitments, with the arena pulling those dates, these games had to be caught up. It doesn't end there for the Sheffield Steelers. They play on Tuesday, they then play Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So I think the scheduling is certainly going in the favour of the Belfast Giants right now. But the Sheffield Steelers have ground out results in September. I don't see it stopping.
Oh, we'll see how they get on. Time now, though, to get some more action, and we've been talking all night about that all-important 4th spot. Well, let's see how currently placed 4th spot the Cardiff Devils got on when they played Hull. Here's Chris Evans.
A milestone night for Cardiff's Mark Richardson as the Devils went into Hull, Richardson playing in his 400th Elite League appearance, and the visitors were ahead on the power play. First to the rebound was McRae, scoring his 19th goal of the season to make it 1-0 in the first period. There was chances, though, for the Stingrays in that period. They thought they'd scored here, but referee Tom Darnell ruling that one out. Things got better for Cardiff in the second session. They were to go further in front. Jeff Pearce with the move, a 29th of the season for 2-0 at 28-17. The Stingrays coming forward at the other end. They were to get their chances on net in the second session. Remarkably, though, only 4 of them. 17 shots at the other end, and through the 5-hole there for McRae, the 2nd of the night, a 20th of the season. It was suddenly 3-0 Devils in the second session. But the Stingrays refused to give up, and they eventually got on the board. Right out in front, player coach Sylvain Cloutier leading the way 3-1. with 2 minutes and 3 seconds to go in the second period. Then into the third session, coming forward once more right side, Silverthorne, a 22nd of the season. Good work from Chamberlain. We've suddenly got ourselves a 1-goal game. But the Devils, who were going into this game on the back of 3 straight wins, well, they were made of stern stuff. And Gerard Adams leading from the front for the visitors to make it 4-2. And then power play time as the game came to a close. All alone at the back door was Ben Davis, an 8th of the year for him. It's 5-2, and there is breathing space for the Cardiff Devils. As the game began to run down, there was a big scrap going on. It was Campbell against Van der Beeken, 2 big men. The defenseman against the forward, Van der Beeken, the taller of the 2 guys, getting some punches with his right hand at the moment. Campbell trying to free himself, but then Van der Beeken falls, and that was the end of that one. So with the game coming to a close, the Stingrays were looking to at least pull back some pride. And they came forward once more with Silverthorne, whose neat move away from one, away from another, and then fires high for the final goal of the night. Final score in Hull, the Stingrays 3, Cardiff 5. Nottingham yet to lose on their trips to Edinburgh this season. They've certainly enjoyed their visits to Murrayfield, and it was no surprise when, after a good start by them, they got the first goal of the night. Myers and Gordon, they worked the boards really hard, and the first goal of the night went to David Clark in the slot, a 34th of the season for 1-0 Nottingham. Only one more goal in the opening period, and this time, Levers, he's been playing defence, he's been playing forward, but at this occasion, he was left all alone in front of the net. It comes to him from behind, calm as you like, for a 2-0 first period lead. The Panthers had outshot the Caps 18-5 in the first session, but it was the other way around in the second, with Edinburgh's 13 shots to Nottingham's 7, showing that they could get back into the game. There was only one goal to show for it, though, Robert Lakovic with his 20th of the campaign. So Nottingham led by 3-0 after 2 periods, and Edinburgh was certainly in this game if they could get the next goal. But they couldn't. Matt Francis there with his 19th of the season, so Nottingham led by 4-0. And then 49 seconds later, Brooke Wilson completed a good weekend. On Saturday, he scored against the Steelers in front of a packed NIC. This perhaps won't be the prettiest goal he scores. 5-0 then at 43:09. It felt like Nottingham could score every time they went on the offensive. And coming forward, right-hand side, Edinburgh give the puck away as Nottingham make hay. And it comes right-hand side once more for Brandon Benedict. 50-16 gone, and Nottingham were leading by 6-0. Myers wins that face-off and gets the final touch, that at 57-18. You're losing count yet. Nottingham are really running up the scoreboard. And then another man was to get a 20th goal of the season. Probably one of the finds of the season. That's a lovely backhand finish from Matt Francis. So he scores at 18:49 into the third session. And more time for one more goal. With 11 seconds to go, Nielsen hanging on to the puck in his own zone. Not many players on the ice could do that. He waits it perfectly for Beauregard to get goal number 9 for the Panthers in the 34th of the year. Edinburgh 0, Nottingham 9.
Okay, well, I'm joined by a couple of Blaze fans, Scott and Angela, to see how their club are doing so far this season. Angela, I'll start off with you first. What do you make of the Blaze so far? I mean, you've had 6 weeks of good news and bad news.
I don't think we played particularly well, especially last weekend, but hopefully tonight we'll play better.
And Scott, you know, the Coventry Blaze are generally known as a winning club. What's the difference between, you know, the winning team and the team they've got now?
The team they've got now has been it's been a difficult season for the whole club. In past years we've had strong sides. Tomo's led the club well, and we've had great success in past couple of years. We've got the team that we can do on a budget, and obviously with the financial difficulties that we've had this year, then it's going to get hard until we can get back on track.
Now, in your opinion, is Paul Thompson the man to take the club going forward?
Absolutely. I mean, he was the GB head coach. You can't get much better than that. So in terms of coaches and the fact that he's part owner of the club, you know, he's the man to take us forward. And because of the situation that the club faced itself, then he had to put his time into the club and make sure we can get back on track. So I'm sure he's the right guy to turn it around.
Okay, well, time now to take a break, but make sure you stay with us. It's coming up. We've got all the highlights of the game here tonight. See you in a couple of minutes.
Sponsors of the Elite Ice Hockey League on Sky Sports. Sponsors of the Elite Ice Hockey League on Sky Sports.
Welcome back to the Rapids Listeners Elite Ice Hockey League highlight show here on Sky Sports. Now we're moments away from face-off here. I am definitely excited about this one. Dave, which way you're swinging tonight?
Well, I'm looking forward to it as well, Anna, and I'll tell you for why. I think the Braid clan are going to win tonight, and I'm going to go with the clan. I've got a Lee Mitchell issue. He's a great player. He played well for the Hull Stingrays. He's had a chance to go to the top 4 teams before, and he hasn't done so. He's had that latest move now to Braehead. This is a big opportunity for the lad. And in warm-up, I was watching him. He's on a line with Jake Galbraith and Jordan Kostanovic. This is a massive opportunity for Lee Mitchell to break out of the little group of British players and into the top echelon of British players, and he can do that with the Braehead clan. I'm expecting a big night from Mitchell, a big night from the clan, and I expect when we come back after the game, the Braehead clan to be the 5th place team.
Well, I'm looking forward to see if you're right. Let's see if he is. Here's Chris Ellis.
After Braehead's win in Scotland over the Blaze on Saturday, they knew victory here would put them above Coventry and also create a record 6th successive win for the club. Early on, Jade Galbraith, what a move, away from one, away from another, rebound, and the first goal of the night for Mitchell, only 36 seconds gone. Galbraith was at the heart of everything Braehead did all weekend. He works the boards well here and then combines with Kostanovic. There's so much room in front of the Coventry net. Kostanovic finally gets the touch, 6:52 gone, and the home side are 2-0 down. But Coventry weren't to be denied, and they got back into things still in the first session. Guthrie and Soderstrom combining the shot from distance from Fussy. It spilled into the net for a 2-1 game. That's the way it stayed in the first period, so to the second session, and things were beginning to turn Coventry's way. They outshot the clan in that second period, 13-11. And all the work here is done by Fussy. He's so strong. And the final touch in front from Farmer. Neat move on the netminder. So we're tied at 2-2. 2:59 into the second period. And Coventry are all level. But I said it was Galbraith's night. In fact, it was his weekend. But watch this move. First of all on Wood. Coventry have no answer on the backhand. Hirsch doesn't know what's hit him. It's 3-2 then, halfway through the game. But Coventry grew in confidence as the period went on, and they certainly had their chances. This time, McLean winning the face-off, and Coventry working it around well before Venus hits the post. Really unlucky for him. But Coventry were to get back into the game once more, and they were led by Jonathan Weaver. Weaver playing in his 400th all-time Elite League game. The hard work's done by Kroll. He comes away from the challenge. And Weaver all alone in the right circle. Don't leave him there. He finds the back of the net. So we're tied at 3-3 at the end of 2 periods. And Coventry took the lead for the first time in the game, breaking away into the offensive zone. This time Wood and Kroll, they're the men at the heart of it. And Owen on his backhand. So Coventry ahead. 5:48 into the third session. It's suddenly Coventry leading when they've been behind all game. It wasn't without incident though, and it got quite feisty. Mitchell going on the netminder. Then there's Jorgensen as well, and all sorts of players then wanting words with each other. Hirsch stays down for a moment. Guthrie goes in. Kostanovic as well. Farmer is spoiling for a fight here with Mitchell. In the end, the linesmen come in. They break that one up, and that one comes to nothing. So at this stage, the Blaze were leading by 4-3, but I said it was the Jade Galbraith weekend, and things got better and better for him as it went on. Coventry, though, as has been their season, man falls over, man gives the puck away, don't let Galbraith in one-on-one, past Hirsch, Galbraith scores a second of the night. This on the way to going 18 points clear at the top of the point-scoring charts. 87 points in 46 matches for Galbraith. It's 4-4. The only goal that Galbraith didn't have a hand in is this one. McPherson and Bayrak setting up Hayward. So Coventry threw away a 4-3 lead, and now it's 5-4 to the Braehead clan. Coventry, though, kept on going, but their coach, Paul Thompson, was angered by some decisions from Andy Carson, and eventually Carson has enough and gives him the game misconduct. Thompson thrown out of the game by referee Andy Carson. So at this stage, it's 5-4. There was still time for Jade Galbraith to score his 5th goal of the weekend. He's falling as he shoots, and he gets that one into an empty net. 5 of the 10 goals at the weekend was scored by Jade Galbraith. Final score, Coventry 4, Braehead 6.
Paul, we saw your frustration there at the end of the game. Explain your thoughts.
Oh, it's been one of them years, you know, we've had a terrible year on and off the ice here. Frustration's getting through everybody right now, and you know, 2 games running. We're 3-1 against Sheffield here 15 minutes ago last week. We're 4-3, we're comfortable, we're doing the right things, and players that I expect way more from, costing us games. And you know, it's bad enough being 3 imports down, David, and you know, we're not one of the teams that can carry spare guys, so you know, you can bolster your lineup back on a night-to-night basis. We dug in deep, we got ourselves the lead just to throw it away, and you know, and I'm sick and tired of it.
I was going to say, your team did show some character, didn't they? They came back from 2-0 down. Many could have thrown the tent in, they didn't. But then, when you were 4-3 up, the Weaver giveaway seriously cost you.
Yeah, I mean, and that's what character's about, is not making them plays at that time. And you know, and we're not doing it. We need more leadership. I got Guthrie, who's on a one-man mission tonight. Him and Galbraith out there tonight were phenomenal. But I think Galbraith's got a little bit more support around him than maybe Guthrie has. Guthrie's line's doing it for us right now. We're not getting it from 2 other lines. You know, I'm not getting it from our back end. We're giving away opportunities too much. So we've got nowhere to run. We've got to dig in deep and get ourselves out of this. And then we get called with a minute and a bit to go on too many men, which, you know, I only counted 4 guys out on the ice, so I don't know if Andy saw something I didn't. Maybe I'm in the wrong. I don't know. Maybe it was frustration, but it's a tough time right now.
Okay, so how do you build it back? Because there still is 6, 7, 8 weeks left of this season.
Well, we have to, don't we? In sport, you can't run away. You can't run away from anything, and you know, we get Domish and hopefully Nylander and Jernick back in the lineup next week that will bolster us a bit. Ross Venus is going to play from now to the end of the year. a regular shift because he's out playing imports on our team and established Great Britain players. It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing right now.
Well, Drew, that game had a bit of everything, didn't it?
Yeah, it certainly was. It was back and forth for most of the game. We were up for a couple. They came back, and then they went ahead in the third, and then we showed some character at the end, and we were able to pull out a win. But very big road win for us, and obviously a big weekend.
I was just going to say those 4 points now move you up in the standings.
Yeah, certainly a big 4 points, and I think we have 2 games at hand too against Coventry now. So now we're looking up, and now we're going to look ahead to Cardiff, and we'll see if we can catch them now.
Drew, in a sport that needs its stars and its superstars, and with a new franchise in Braehead, Jay Galbraith, just talk me through what he means to your club.
I mean, he's been certainly, one of our best players, if not our best, for the whole year. He certainly brought a lot to our team. Every game he shows up to play. Again, you see tonight he seems to always find a way to get on the score sheet for us, and he just scores big goals. And, not that we live and die by him, but he's certainly been a big player and a big reason for our success this year.
Everybody has an opinion about him, but he's a competitor. He wants to win, doesn't he?
I love the guy. I have all the time in the world for him. I heard a lot of things, that were negative about him, but I gave him a fresh slate. I had many conversations before I signed him with him, and I was very comfortable. And I mean, he's been a leader for us. He's been a leader in our dressing room. He's been a leader on the ice, and he just gets it done, and he wants to win every night.
That's Coventry now behind you. Chase the Cardiff Devils.
Yeah, we're going to try and catch up to Cardiff. We have another big game coming up against them in a couple of weeks here. I believe it is a Sky Sports game, so we'll be looking forward to that, and hopefully we can put a good performance on for you guys.
So the Braehead clan head home with all the points from the game here in Coventry. Join us after the break for more reaction and action from the Rapid Solicitors Elite Ice Hockey League.
Sponsors of the Elite Ice Hockey League on Sky Sports. Sponsors of the Elite Ice Hockey League on Sky Sports.
Hello and welcome back to the Rapid Solicitors Elite Ice Hockey League highlight show here on Sky Sports. Well, we've just seen the Braehead clan take a rather sweet away victory over the Coventry Blaze. And Dave, you predicted it at the top of the show. You said the Braehead clan were going to win, and boy oh boy did they deliver.
Well, they did deliver, not only tonight but yesterday as well in Glasgow. A 4-point weekend over the Coventry Blaze. When you remember, folks, going into the weekend, these were the two teams fighting for 5th place. They just had a little bit more quality, didn't they, tonight than the Coventry Blaze, led, by Galbraith, Kristanovic. But at the back as well, nobody ever mentions Wedderburn. I don't think Wedderburn put a foot wrong all night tonight, and they just had a little bit too much. Coventry fought back, got themselves in a position, but as we've seen so many times before, the Coventry Blaze found a way to lose a game. The Braehead clan found a way to win it.
Jay Galbraith, he's surely got to be the star of the show tonight.
Star of the show tonight, star of the show pretty much every night. It's not a stick, folk, it's a wand that he plays with. The man is a magician. I mean, we've said it for years when he played in Nottingham and now in Braehead. I wondered how he'd cope in Braehead. In Nottingham, the big arena, the big star, you had Jade Galbraith of the Panthers. And I wondered going to Glasgow whether he would be able to deliver that same kind of panache. Oh my God, he does. He's the real deal. He's the star of the league.
Well, he scored a hat-trick tonight, and that third goal has to be my goal of the season so far, surely.
Well, 5 goals this weekend, a 5-point night here on the road in Coventry in a game where it matters, and the guy is injured and probably shouldn't have been playing and may not play next week. The man's the real deal. A lot of people have an opinion on Galbraith, and he's an easy man to poke fun at, but he delivers. He has a reputation and a history of delivering, and that's why, to me, he's head and shoulders the MVP in the league so far.
We have to talk a bit about Paul Thompson. You've just done an interview with him, and he just looks devastated, really deflated.
The man is empty right now. He's frustrated right now, not only at tonight's result, Anna, but of what's happened over the last 2, 3 and 4 months. He's got 2 or 3 players that, he can carry forward. Wood, Guthrie and Farmer. The rest of them, for me, I think he'll just discard them. I don't care who they are, what their reputations are. I think he will completely and utterly rebuild. He's been let down by a lot of players this year. He's been let down by a lot of people this year, and I think he'll just clean house.
So is this it for the Coventry Blaze, or do you think they've got more to give, or is this as far as they go?
I don't think they've got more to give, but it can't be the end for the Coventry Blaze. This is a proud hockey club. I think you said at the top of the show, the hockey club that's got the best tradition in the Elite League and the winningest tradition in the Elite League. He has got to drag something out of them, but only he can do that. You could see tonight Guthrie, who on any other night would have been the star of the show. It was only the Galbraith outperformed him. But Guthrie's trying to do it on his own, and all he has got for support is a 20-year-old kid in Robert Farmer, because other than that, the rest of them are just not delivering. Not Fussy, not Weaver, not Cowley. The other imports, complete and utter waste of space here in Coventry. And if Coventry had got a few quid, they'd have put them on a boat a long time ago and replaced them. The only problem is they couldn't afford to replace them. They're lucky to still be in a job in the month of February.
I love your firm words.
Well, it's, you know what, you haven't got to be a hockey expert, you know, to work out that he has been let down. And the Coventry Blaze have been let down by some very inadequate performances.
Okay, well, time now for some more action for you, and it's the Sheffield Steelers in midweek action against the Five Flyers at EIHL Sheffield. Here's Chris Ellis.
The Flyers came into EIHL Sheffield desperate for the points in their bid to make the playoffs, but they really didn't help themselves. Give away in the first period, and the puck falls nicely for Jonathan Phillips, who scored on a neat move on Zemlak. 1-0 at 7-12. Phillips playing in his 500th all-time competitive appearance in the league. Through the 5-hole, and Steelers were 1-up. Less than 5 minutes to go in the opening session. This time it's good work from Hewitt and Ramsey and Clark there. A 14th of the year. Steelers 2-0 up, 15:41 gone in the game. On the backhand, Zemlak maybe could have done better. That's the way it was at the end of the first period. If Zemlak really wanted the second back, he'll definitely want the third back. Free-flowing move, Clark and Hewitt involved, and Ramsey with the shot, top of the right circle. That one creeps in. Ramsey's 23rd of the year. More celebrations for the Steelers. You'll see from this replay, the shot comes in and it agonisingly goes over the line. So all going Steelers' way in the second session, and we hadn't played 2 minutes when another goal was on the board. This time Ramsey sending Clark free. There's only one way that's going, and that's the back of the net. 21:54 gone, Steelers 4-0 up, and surely it's game over. Coming up, the goal of the night. 5 at their end, they had chances. They had 12 in the second session, but at the other end, Jeff Legui, what a finish. That was Steelers' 1,600th Elite League goal, and what a great way to bring up that momentous landmark. Fulgham and King with the assist. What a rocket over the shoulder. It's 5-0. This is a great angle. You see the water bottle just lifted off the top of the net. So 5-0 Steelers. They weren't to score any more goals, but Steve Gum over the glove of Jeff Woolhouse for 5-1, and that was the end of the scoring. Just over 5 minutes to go, and Woolhouse's shutout is broken. But the Five Flyers can't get the points, and the Steelers close the gap on the Giants. Final score, Sheffield 5, Flyers 1.
Scores from Saturday the 18th of February in the Elite League. The Belfast Giants 7, the Five Flyers 1, the Braehead Clan 4, the Coventry Blaze 3, Edinburgh Capitals 3, the Dundee Stars 6, and the Nottingham Panthers 5, the Sheffield Steelers 1. Flip forward 24 hours, and the game we've just seen, the Coventry Blaze 4, the Braehead Clan 6, the Edinburgh Capitals being shut out 9-0 by the Nottingham Panthers, and Hull Stingrays going down 5-3 at home to the Cardiff Devils. Let's see how that leaves the league standings, and those 2 points that Cardiff pick up keep them in 4th place. They're now 6 points ahead of the Braehead Clan, who have that game in hand. There's battle number 1. Battle number 2, Belfast and Sheffield at the top of the Elite League standings. Sheffield need to win all their games in hand to go above the Belfast Giants, but the intriguing battle for me is down at the bottom. The Dundee Stars and the Edinburgh Capitals. 3 points separate those two teams, and they play once more this season.
So let's have a look at the fixtures coming your way this weekend. On Saturday the 25th of February, Edinburgh Capitals, they face the Braehead Clan. Five Flyers face the Sheffield Steelers. It's the Hull Stingrays versus table-topping Belfast Giants, and it's the Nottingham Panthers versus the Cardiff Devils. On Sunday the 26th of February, Cardiff Devils, they face the Hull Stingrays. It's It's the Coventry Blaze versus the Belfast Giants, and the Dundee Stars, they take on the Braehead Clan. Five Flyers, they face Nottingham Panthers, and it's the Sheffield Steelers versus the Edinburgh Capitals. Today, some interesting games there. The Braehead Clan, we've seen them play tonight. They face both Dundee and Edinburgh next week. Edinburgh, they had a great start to the season, but do you think now maybe the wheels have fallen off for them?
Anna, the wheels have fallen off. Somebody stole them and hid them at the back of the bike sheds. It's been an horrendous, an 11-game losing streak for Hartman's Edinburgh side. They started off so well because they played all the teams in their own division. Now, the worrying thing for Scott Neal and Hartman's is that from now till the end of the year, they play the Dundee Stars once in Dundee, and then they're at home to Fife on the very last day of the year. They have to win those games at least because their other games are against top 5 teams. I can't see where they can pick points up. That's the problem for the Edinburgh Capitals. That's why Dundee have got their tails up right now, and they're pushing forward looking for that 8th place. That's going to be a huge game as well. We talk about Braehead, but Braehead are in Dundee at the weekend, and Brent Hughes will fancy his chances in that one.
And of course, the Sheffield Steelers, they've got another 3-3, tiring schedule for them again.
Yeah, well, we say it every week, don't we? But I'm sure Finity won't make any excuses. If the Sheffield Steelers want to take on and challenge and beat the Belfast Giants, they have to just suck that up and man it up and get through it. 2 games in Scotland and then 1 at the arena against Edinburgh.
Now we have to flip forward a week and talk about our next live game, which is the Braehead Clan. We've seen them play tonight, and they're going to be taking on the Cardiff Devils.
Well, a few weeks ago, you and I looked in our diaries, and perhaps we wouldn't have been too excited about that game. You know, Cardiff looked like they got 4th place. Braehead looked certainties for 6th. Now, of course, things have changed. Braehead have now won, 6 games on the bounce. They're playing really well. They've got Mitchell in the lineup that gives them that extra depth. Now they're chasing the Cardiff Devils, and now it's one of the big battles in the Elite League. I can't wait. And you lucky people get to see Jay Galbraith for 3 whole periods live, worth a monthly subscription on its own.
Yes, you can see that game live on Friday, the 2nd of March on Sky Sports 4 at 7 o'clock. Well, that's just about all we've got time for tonight. Thanks from Dave and myself for watching. What a game of hockey we've seen tonight to finish off a great weekend of ice hockey. We'll see you next time in Braehead. Good night.
Rapid Solicitors, sponsors of the Elite Ice Hockey League on Sky Sports. Accident compensation and medical negligence claims.